afterlife.
The end of the world, I will do better next time. Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know it. If it's the end of the world, I know that I have lived my life to the fullest. Yeah, the fullest. We stood on top of mountains. We've been to space before. We had our dogs and houses. We dug up dinosaurs. We built those bombs are dropping. We fought in all their wars. Now that the sky's falling, what did we do? It hits the end of the world.
Invoke the Selective Service Act, as is my authority as president. Remember, you're not sending your sons and daughters to war. You're sending them to freedom.
Oh, have y'all seen that? Biden plans on reenacting the selected service. You know, but don't you worry, because you're going to be sending your sons and daughters to freedom, not war. Now, someone explain to me how our sons and daughters fighting in someone else's war has anything to do with my freedom, because it doesn't. And you can take your legislation and you can stick it in your ass. And I'm sure I speak for millions of fathers and mothers when I stand and tell you there is absolutely no fucking way my baby girl will be signing up for a draft. None. I don't care what authority you think you have or what legislation you think you're going to pass that's going to make that happen. It's not. My children, my daughter, will not be participating in your fucking greedy wars. And no one I know will be doing that either. So you can take that legislation and stick it up your ass and fuck around and find out. You want to piss America off? Try it. Let's see how it fucking works out for you.
What I'm doing is enabling all qualified Americans to serve their country in uniform and essentially restoring the situation that existed before with transgender personnel, if qualified in every other way, can serve their government in the United States military.
Three huge pieces of news that are frankly scary as hell, that are being done in relative secrecy, and we should all be paying attention to. We'll get into these news items in a moment, but first, here's Forbes magazine. This week, is the U.S. headed for an all-out war with China? And they're asking this question because we are at a tipping point moment, and some very dangerous things are unfolding. And by the way, make no mistake about it, a war with China and Russia would be an absolute catastrophe, because at worst, it would end humanity with a nuclear war, and at best, it would send us back into the dark ages. No electrical grids, no internet, no functioning satellites, basically. And these morons in Washington, D.C. seemed hell-bent on making this happen. Back in January, something happened that got almost no media attention. It was done quietly, in Japan even. The Japanese government started paying fishermen to stay away from one particular small island that was close to China. Here's what happened.
Japan's defense ministry began construction of a new base on Mageshima, an island in southwestern Japan, on January 12. Ministry staff and construction workers took a boat to the uninhabited island. The base will also be used by the U.S. military for training.
Oh, the U.S. is coming. According to the Japan Times, the U.S. just took a huge leap closer to China's doorstep. Instead of doing military drills 1,000 miles away on that other island, now they can do them straight up China's ass without having to use mid-air refueling to do it. That was 9 months ago. Then, as we reported this week, the Biden administration is laying the groundwork for bringing back the military draft for young men in the United States. That's right. This is not a fantasy. According to the documents from the U.S. Army War College's plan, they predict that the United States will lose 3,600 soldiers per day in casualties when we start fighting China and Russia. And they say we need the draft now because we won't be able to replace those kinds of numbers without it. Taking 3,600 people per day and throwing them into the meat grinder.
I have a solution to the women being drafted problem.
And if you're a woman ages 18 to 24, you need to listen to this. And if you haven't heard yet, they're proposing a bill to draft anyone ages 18 to 24, whether you are male or female. So this is my proposed solution. We're going to Uno reverse their asses. Remember how last June they overturned Roe versus Wade? If that bill passes, go get pregnant. Go get fucking pregnant. They can't make you have an abortion, and they can't draft a pregnant woman. Go get fucking pregnant. And if you're sitting there right now and you're saying, well, I'm not ready to be a mom, are you ready to be a soldier? Are you? Because if you go over there and get injured, the VA is going to do the bare fucking minimum, I can promise you, to help you. But the government will help you raise a baby. I mean, the whole fucking point in overturning Roe versus Wade was military. I can make another video on that if you guys want me to. But if they pass that bill, go get fucking pregnant. Okay, bye.